Right, so first of all, Happy New Year to you all. And have a look at this. The weather is making everything sweat in here. And it's all going rusty. It's just incredible. All the metal surfaces on the grinder, on the drill, everything. But never mind. I've got this bit of rasp that I started to make a handle out of and buggered up. So I'm going to use that. I'm just going to cut a little section out of it. About an inch by, I don't know, 3.5, 4 inch, something like that. I haven't measured it. Just going to eyeball it. About there. And I could have cut that out with angle grinder and then got straight on, but I just thought it'd be more fun to cut it hot. I'm going to try and do minimal talking in this one. Some people say they don't like the sound of my voice, so I'll give you some silence. Not entirely silent. I did. I noticed in my amongst my videos, I demonstrated using one of these Flint strikers. Yeah, get a bigger hammer, Gary. About 11 years ago, but I don't think I actually showed making it. If I did, I can't find the video. If I have done one, let me know. So I thought that's why I thought I've got an hour this afternoon. I thought I'll make one, show you how they're actually made. I don't know why I didn't show making the previous one. Must have been a reason. That's a bit better with a bigger hammer. Give it some beans. I can now, my shoulder's much better. Just over a year since I had that operation, and it's almost 100% back to normal. If you're considering having the operation, I would go for it. I am so much happier now. Not being in pain is always a joy. Let's see if that'll break, because I think that's almost through. Yep, there we go. Oh, mind my toes. Yeah, that'll go now. I reckon that'll come apart quite nicely. Yep, there we go. Right, so that's the bit I'm going to use. So it's about inch by 3.5, 4, something like that, roughly. I'm just going to compact it down a bit. I'm going to draw it out a little bit as well. Trouble with this stuff, it gets cold so quick because it's so thin. It's only, I think this particular rasp that this one came out of was only about 3/16 thick, so it gets cold pretty quick, but it heats up pretty quick. Right, now this is where I'm going to set it down, because I want to draw out about the last, just over a third, I suppose. Not quite half, but a bit more than a third. I'm going to draw this down into a bit of a quite a longish taper. Getting there. You draw it out till it's about, I don't know, how wide's that anvil? About 5 inches, so I want it about probably 4.5 if I can. That's about it, I think now. That must be good 4.5. Almost reaches the other side of the anvil. So yeah, must be. Now I'm just knocking the edges off, because obviously I'm going to be hanging on to that bit. I don't want any sharp edges. I could have made it round, I suppose, but I wanted to keep the squareness of the whole thing. You always get your best finish when it's nearly cold. There you go. I think I'm going to call it a day at that. Just going to scroll it up a little bit. Put a little feature on the end. Like so. I've just cooled that very tip out because it was on the verge of burning. I'm going to turn this into, it's almost like a mini herb chopper. I don't know if I did a bit, I think I might have done a video on a herb chopper, but I've got one like this in my kitchen cupboard that I use, but it's bigger. It's a whole much bigger, but it's virtually identical, the same sort of shape. But obviously you don't need one that big for a flint striker. I'm just doing this eyeballing it all. I'm not doing anything to any patterns, and I'm going to call it a day at that. I've called it out. I'm just going to tidy it up with a belt grinder. I'm just going to put a slight radius on there, so it's not straight and flat. Two reasons to that. One is to get rid of any remnants of any teeth, and also it's just a better shape with the angle that you're going to be striking it at. I think it would be better if the face you're going to hit has got a slight shape to it. That's it, you can see there's just a slight radius. Okay, so I'm going to just level it all out, make sure it's flat, true. Any tiny little adjustments. And I'm going to stick it, after I give it a quick brush up, just get some of the scale off. Not a lot on it actually. Just stick it in the vermiculite to anneal. And we'll leave it in there till it gets cold. It's buried in there. So, while it's cooling, because it's going to take a while, let's go and see if we can find ourselves some flints. Let's grab Ralphie. He's in the truck because it's been raining. Coming out, Ralph. Let's go and have a look up the field. Right, I think we're going to be spoilt for choice. There's quite a few about. This is a bit of winter wheat in here, so I'm keeping to the headland. Don't want to tread on the crops. It's getting thicker. I don't know why, but the further up this field you go, the denser the flints seem to get. In fact, I don't actually know how many crops grow in this. Seems to be more flint than soil. Had a guy deliver some equipment to me from up north a few weeks ago, and he couldn't believe it. He said he's never seen anything like it. He obviously comes from one of those places where they've got that lovely, just nothing but soil. I can tell you, metal detecting in these fields is no fun. Need more than a bloody shovel. That looks like quite a nice one, nice sharp edge. That's what you want, some sharp edges. Another decent one there, little one. I'll take a few with me, but obviously if I haven't got the right one, I can easily come and get another one. They're just incredible. Is that one any good? It's got a couple of nice sharp edges. And it goes on forever, right the way up the field. Right, so we've got what we want. Poor old Ralph's finding it a bit tricky to walk on them. So let's head back to the yard. Right, Ralph's having a snack. More moisture. Drive me mad. Absolutely everything's soaked. And it's not cold in here. I think that's part of the problem. The weather's been, we had very cold, and then we're actually quite mild, but it's been very wet. Anyway, let's have a little feel. It's been about an hour. Oh no, that's still very warm. Can't pick that up. I'll leave it a bit longer. Alright, it's been a bit longer. The magic of video. And that's still a bit warm. I can touch it now, but that's still warm. So I'm going to clean it up, give it a quick wire brush, and then we're going to harden the edge. So I'm giving it a quick wire brush, get the crap off it. And I'm just going to use a torch just to heat the edge that's going to be doing the business. Again, I could have done this in the forge, could have got it all hot, quenched it all out, but again I just think it's a bit more fun to anneal it than just do the edge. This is where a induction heater would come in handy. We can just heat the very edge of something. We're getting there. Right, I think that's about it. And cool it out. Super! Alright, so there we go. Come on, focus. Focus, you. There, just about, yeah. I'm just going to quick clean up again and we'll see if it works. So there's one of my bits of flint. Nothing. Yeah, there we go, a little one. I'm not actually any good at this. I haven't done this since the last time I did it 11 years ago. It's not something I make a habit of doing. There we go, that's it, it's working. I find different parts of the flint, the different coloured bits, the different shapes, you really have to sort of try all the bits, the corners out, and then suddenly you'll find one that really goes well. I don't know what the combination is. That one's quite good, that corner, but it's a sort of partially white, partially stone colour or grey. Let's put the lights out, see if it shows up any better. I obviously haven't got the technique, but you can see it does work. Just need to get the angle right, the right bit of flint. Yeah, look at that, that's going nicely. So there you go, that's all it is. Have another go in the daylight, see if I can. This is a different bit of flint again. And that one's working quite nicely. Now I'm reliably informed what's actually happening is that the flint is taking tiny bits of metal off the striker, and as it comes off it's oxidizing and bursting into flames or whatever. But that's apparently what it is. The sparks are bits of metal coming off the striker, right? It's not bits of flint, it's bits of metal. So yeah, it's working quite well now. I've got obviously found a decent bit of flint. But I'll tell you something, I'm buggered if I'd like to do that to try and light a fire. Give me a box of matches or a lighter any day. Never in a million years in this country will I need to use one of these in any capacity, survival or otherwise. Yeah, look at that, working a treat. So, oh, hang on, bit of a zoom in. Oh, and how about a bit of slow motion as well? Look at that. There you go. Well, I think that's a thorough success. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one.